winter driving tips.
Are you prepared?
So we realize it's that time of year again. Winter driving tips. The first one, always wear your seatbelt. Pretty common. It's all the law. But if you end up in the ditch, your seatbelt will help. Keep your fuel tanks full. If you get stuck on the road, that's going to be your source of heat. Also use and carry your anti-gel additive because you're going to have to sit there and run if you're stuck in the snow. Otherwise your fuel will gel and you will get cold.
And die.
Hopefully you don't die. But if you're on a road that isn't traveled or closed down, it may be a minute before somebody comes by. Slow down. Slower speeds, slower acceleration, slower steering, and slower braking. Everything needs to be done slower.
Sounds like common sense to me, Ted.
No distractions. Don't be playing on the CB, talking to your buddies, messing on the cell phone. None of that good stuff.
Hang on loosely.
Stay away from everyone.
This is big time.
Don't crowd the plow is what we see on the state signs, but stay away from other trucks. Stay away from other cars. Stay away from everyone.
There's nothing worse than a pack of trucks, just 10 trucks all piled together and cars intermingled, and they come to a slick overpass and it's all over with.
We actually have personal experience with that when I was driving and this group of cars ended up surrounding me, and a few trucks, this group of vehicles ended up surrounding me. And I told him, I'm like, I'm just going to slow down because all these idiots are so close together. It was snowing at the time. I said, if one of them hits a slick spot, they're all going to wreck. And it was literally not,
minutes later,
3 miles maybe?
Yep.
That all of a sudden traffic was stopped. They went over an overpass. It was slick. And every one of them hit each other because they couldn't stop. They couldn't do anything in time to get away from each other.
They were like
so
pinball
even if
machines.
you don't wreck, if the car beside you hits you, don't matter that it wasn't your fault. You're still in
trouble
accident.
Because it was too slippery for road conditions for you to be there.
Yep. Don't use your cruise control. I was waiting for you to say something.
I didn't chime in.
And be aware of possible black ice. So use extra caution around shady areas, underpasses, overpasses, anywhere that the sun isn't shining. You're also likely to have ice longer than the open areas. Be careful of bridges, ramps, and intersections because you don't know how good of a driver the other person is or if there's ice on their part of the road that you can't see.
Now, we all have a different level of comfortability in winter driving. You will find that newer drivers will drive at a much slower pace, and at some point maybe it's time to get off the road. Everyone should remember that. If you're going 30 and everyone in the interstate is still doing 50, maybe it's time for you to get off the road, just for safety.
Clean your wipers regularly if they're not working, and brush snow off of your lights so other drivers can see you.
With the new LED lights, they don't melt the snow off anymore.
They don't get hot. They don't heat up like the old lights do.
So you got to keep them clean. And with keeping your windshield wipers clean, someone told me one time, and I never thought about this, to keep the defroster off and just keep the cab warm. And I find that it does keep the windshield wipers from icing up as fast.
And then, of course, last but not least, make sure you have an emergency kit. And we recommend having at least 1 week's worth of everything. So we're going to leave a few things out that cars need. Cars, you might add wet wipes, towels, blankets, extra socks. But in a truck, you have a bed, and I hope you would have blankets and extra socks and tools and stuff already. But
Candles.
with that, I don't know. I'm not going to light a fire in my truck.
I will light candles. If there is no heat, I can keep you alive with candles.
See, for a heat source that I would use, he was born in 1920. I would go to Walmart and buy some of those heated back pads or hand warmers or foot warmers and keep those because I'm not going to burn the truck down and they're not using oxygen or putting off carbon dioxide.
I'm trying to keep her from getting frostbite on the tips of her fingers.
I can buy hand warmers.
Okay. Hand warmers.
Hand warmers.
See, she's so much smarter being born yesterday.
I'm only 26. So, ready to eat food. We have MREs, also canned food like tuna, shelf-stable meat, cheese, crackers, anything that you don't actually have to cook or heat up dirty dishes. Some people don't even have cooking equipment in their truck, but anything you can just eat.
For you keto people out there, this is a good time to keep some carbohydrates handy because it's a food source that you can keep and use at this point in time.
The dog's lining. You can can tuna, half canned sausage, stuff like that too. So you don't have to eat crackers starting out.
It's the end of the world. You're stuck on the side of the road.
It's not the end of the world. People get stuck on the side of the road all the time. So let's see. Heat source, you done covered water. And then instead of a candle, I would keep a flashlight and battery so you can spy on what's going on outside your truck.
I agree.
So can you think of any other winter driving tips that we didn't cover?
For the things that we did not cover, please comment
I'm sure
below.
there's a million things.
There is.
Those are just some
But for the people that might
generalities.
tune in for this video, they'll read the comments. They might get some good ideas. So please, comment below.
Ideas.
All right. Like, share, and subscribe, as they say.
See you next time, guys.